In South Africa, there has never been a bigger spotlight on the subject of gender-based violence. With women fighting to have their voices heard, there seems to be a silenced and marginalized group that are yet to have their say. These are men who were sexually assaulted in their youth by older women, either family members or otherwise.
My name is Dumi Thoyun. I am a 24-year-old from Pretoria, and I'll be sharing my story today. Well, we hired the woman when I was 10 years old. She was in her mid-20s at that time. Her basic job, she was our housekeeper. Her basic responsibilities were, aside from cleaning, were to take care of me, make sure I had eaten, make sure I had, been fed, make sure I was fine, basically. It was a relationship of trust. It was maternal. It was a relationship where vulnerability was encouraged, I would say. When the encounter happened, I wasn't really sure how I should feel because, we had built a relationship for such a long time based on trust. Since I was 10, I was 14 at the time, she was around 30. So basically what happened is she came into the room while I was bathing, and I panicked for a bit, but she seemed to make it seem like such a casual thing that I thought maybe I was overreacting. So when I left the room, she came to me and, she made sure I wasn't uncomfortable, and, it seemed natural because that was our relationship. So, she took my hand and then she pulled me in, said that everything was going to be okay, and I believed her because every time she had said that in the past, it was the truth. But then she kissed me, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to make of it at the time, but I let it happen, and things quickly escalated, and I'm not sure how to. I didn't know how to feel about it. I was a hormonal teenager. I wasn't sure. That's all I can say. I didn't know how I felt. I didn't know how to feel. I was just confused. Looking back at the situation, I really, really believe that I was taken advantage of. As much as part of me can say that you enjoyed it or something like that. I was young. I was going through so many things. I was highly impressionable, and she took advantage of that. She took the trust that we had established and she used it to her advantage, and it was wrong. It was wrong. Part of me does believe that she should be punished because, as I said, we had a very trusting relationship, and I do feel that she took advantage of that, and she took advantage of the fact that I was hormonal going through my situation, but at the same time, I feel that I didn't exactly say no. So maybe she didn't know what she was doing is wrong. Maybe I, in my hormonal state as a kid, made a move that she interpreted as me being ready, but at the same time, she should have known that I was just a kid. So yeah, when I think about it, I do think she should have been punished. What would I tell somebody going through what I went through?
Yeah.
I think we need to educate kids better, and I think it needs to be a more open conversation, because you always do hear about, when it happens to the girls, and we never really talk about it with the men, and we also go through it, and we should normalize informing them from a young age that you have the right to say no, you're not ready for all the things that you think you're ready for, and you're gonna regret it, because I wish that I had somebody that I cared for be my first, as opposed to just somebody that I cared for in a different way. I don't know. Be careful who you trust, I suppose. Know how to say no, and know it's not your fault.
Could these instances of unreported pedophilia be contributing to the cases of GBV against women as the victims mature with a warped sense of what consent really is? Only time will tell.